Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back another video day, and today the Houston Rockets beat the Philadelphia 76ers 120 to 115. Great win for the Rockets, and we have some crazy stuff that happened in this game. Not just the game itself, but Rockets history being broken, or the Rockets snapping a bunch of stuff tonight, and I'm gonna go over those things before we go over to get over to the game itself. Let's start off with the Rockets winning their first game in the city of Philadelphia since October 2017. If you guys remember, it was the game where the Rockets had this big comeback, and I'll never forget one of my favorite Rockets buzzer beaters, a game-winning three-pointer in the corner for Mr. E.G. Eric Gordon. Funny enough, who is a current 76er. That was the last win in Philadelphia for the Rockets, was when Eric Gordon hit the huge, game-winning shot to give the Rockets a win. The Rockets, some of their good teams have not been able to win in Philadelphia. Like the Rockets 2018-19 team couldn't win. Fortunately, the Rockets 2019-20 team, who was a 4 seed in the West, did not get to go to Philadelphia due to the season being cut short. But the Rockets, it's been a while. It's been over 7 years since the Rockets have won against Philadelphia, and it's even crazier that the guy who pushed the Rockets to a win in that game with his game-winning three-pointer is now a current Philadelphia 76er. Also, with the overtime win and the overtime win yesterday against Minnesota, this is the first time the Rockets have won back-to-back overtime games, or back-to-back, overtime wins, and, over back-to-back games being overtime wins since February 1991. And also, the final thing is this is the best Rockets start to a season through 20 games since the amazing 2017-18 season. 14-6 through the first 20 games of the season. Unfortunately, that cannot beat the 2017-18 season. That Rockets team started off 16-4. Hey, pretty close though, and it's kind of hard to beat a team that had 65 wins. That Rockets team went 65-17, but it does beat out the 2018-19 Rockets and the 2019-20 Rockets. The 2019-20 Rockets should have started 14-6. The 2019-20 Rockets started off 13-6, then played the Spurs, lost in overtime, funny enough, by 2 points. And that was the game where Harden had that dunk. They said it didn't count when the ball obviously went in. And what makes this game and everything that happened in this game even funnier, with the Rockets getting their first win in Philadelphia since, Harden was in his prime, and, the Rockets had a great game-winning moment 7 years ago in 2017. The Rockets getting their first win in Philadelphia since then, and also having the best start in franchise history through 20 games since 2017. The best start since 2017. With those two things happening, it's funny enough. What does James Harden do tonight for the Los Angeles Clippers? Something we don't see him do often. When for the Rockets in those years was doing it almost nightly. Scores 43 points and 7 assists. How crazy is that James does it on the night where the Rockets do everything that they did tonight? And it's so funny because this morning I woke up early. Obviously no school because of the Thanksgiving break. Woke up early and was so bored, like almost 8 o'clock in the morning. And I started watching old Rockets highlights from the 2017-18 season and 2018-19 season with James Harden just absolutely killing it every night. And the reason I started watching that was because of seeing these TikTok edits of, Stephen A. Smith saying he's averaging 40 and he's listing out each game. And so that made me want to watch old Rockets highlights. And then on that day, you got everything that happened. Harden's 40-piece, the Rockets getting an overtime win and having the best start to the 17-18 season, and also first win in Philadelphia in 7 years. Love to see it. This was a great win. Let's get to, we're talking a lot about the 2017 and the old Rockets. Let's get to the new ones because these new guys are pretty good. All right. 122-115 is the final score. what a night for Alperen Sengun. I'm going to get to Jalen Green in just a minute because he was fantastic as well. Both Rockets stars were great. But Sengun, I think to me the impressive thing is the bounce back for him because this was not a great first half. He had 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Now, he wasn't taking a lot of shots. I believe he only had 2 shot attempts in the first half. But what happened? What does he finish with? 22 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. He only played 35 minutes, even though it was an overtime game. Still had 22, 14, 7, 2 steals, and 1 block, even though at halftime he only had 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. So you love to see it. This is another amazing second half performance for Alperen Sengun. Couldn't get his 4th triple-double of the year, but a great second half. Now let's get to someone who didn't have an amazing second half, but when Sengun couldn't perform well in the first half, or really, I think there weren't a lot. I think Tari Eason and Amen Thompson were really good in the first half. And outside of those 2 guys, I don't think there was a lot of other greatness in that first half for the Rockets. Tari and Amen were great. And I think that Van Vliet made a couple shots. Van Vliet had a buzzer beat in the first quarter, or was it first quarter or halftime? I think it was first quarter for him. A first quarter Van Vliet buzzer beater. But Jalen Green was the main energy of the first half. He wasn't as great in the second half, but Jalen Green was amazing in the first half. I mean, 23 points in the first half for Jalen. He finishes with 41. Played 41 minutes, 12 for 20, 4 for 6 from 3, 13 for 14, 41 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. It's so great to see Jalen get hot like this and have a game like this tonight with what we've seen most recently from him. And honestly, I think the Rockets were able to survive Jalen not playing as good in the second half as he was in the first half because you had guys like Sengun pick it up, and I think the team was performing really well in the closing stages of the basketball game in overtime and to finish this game off. But I don't think the Rockets survive without Jalen Green in the first half. If Jalen Green doesn't have the first half performance he had, the Rockets going into halftime, even with Jalen Green's amazing performance, were only beating Philly by a total of 4 points. So without Jalen Green in the first half, I think things would have been pretty brutal for the Rockets. Amazing game for him. His best game of the year. All right, Fred VanVleet, 13 points, 5 assists, 4 for 14, 3 for 9 from the floor. After his great game last night, Dillon Brooks, it's kind of disappointing. This is what I see people talking about, and I actually understand it and kind of get it. Now, 2 blocks for Dillon, that was great. And 4 assists, so he did a good job facilitating. But he's too inefficient. Like, Dillon had an amazing game last night. 22 points. Absolutely killed it for this team. But then the next night, what do we see from him? He's 0 for 11, 0 for 8 from 3. Very, very inconsistent. And I think if Dillon Brooks was a more consistent player, we would, this game wouldn't be close if Dillon Brooks had the night he had last night. Another night of Jabari Smith Jr. not taking enough shots. I complained about it most of my postgame last night. How does a guy get so hot like Jabari Smith Jr. was last night? Shot 3 for 4 from 3, I think, and 8 for 9 from the floor. Yet every starter took more shots than him. And you had Jabari, who played almost 40 minutes, had the same amount of shots as Jalen Green, who was struggling and only played 23 minutes. Jabari did not shoot the ball enough tonight with how hot he was. Last night, Jabari did not shoot the ball enough with how hot he was. And Jabari even shot with great efficiency tonight as well. And again, not shooting the ball enough. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks. Another great defensive performance for Jabari. But only 4 shot attempts. When Jabari, you got to take advantage of these moments when Jabari's feeling it. He was feeling it last night. 8 for 9 from the floor. 3 for 4 from 3. Tonight, 3 for 4 from the floor. 2 for 2 from 3. When he's feeling it like this, you got to feed him. Like, there are a lot of times where Jabari is not feeling it, and he is just in a very bad cold spell. But right now, you got Jabari, I think, the hottest he's been all year, and he's not shooting enough shots. What's the craziest thing to me is that there were a total of 6 Rockets to shoot more than Jabari Smith Jr. in this game. And look, I think this is the very difficult thing of when, okay, I heard Bill Worrell say it last week during the Rockets Pacers game, is that this team has 7 starters. You have the 5 guys that start in Jabari, Dylan, Alp, Fred, and Jalen, and then off the bench you got Tari and you got Amen. So that makes the organizing the minutes really hard for Ime. But Jabari only playing 25 minutes when he's shooting the ball like he was tonight and shooting the ball like he was last night and playing great defense. And Dylan Brooks getting 36 minutes when he's shooting 0 for 11 and 0 for 8 from 3. I don't care how good Dylan Brooks is defensively. Jabari has been great defensively these last couple of nights as well. Jabari should have got way more minutes than 25 when you have Brooks getting 36 minutes. I can't really talk about the other guys getting more minutes because Jalen had 41. VanVleet was great defensively and had 5 assists. Şengün had the night he had tonight. Tari Eason and Amen Thompson were amazing. We'll go over their stats in just a minute. So I can't really say that Jabari deserved minutes over those guys. But Dylan Brooks getting 11 more minutes than Jabari Smith Jr. with the night that those two guys were having. You got to take advantage of these moments when Jabari's feeling like this. All right, let's get to Tari and Amen. Amen and Tari Eason were incredible tonight. Tari Eason scaring the hell out of me with these falls, though, these last couple of nights. Don't want to see that. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks these last couple in this game for Tari. You'd love to see it after last night. One of his worst games of the year, shot 0 for 5, 0 for 3 from 3. Was limited to a very season low, or not, well, I don't know if it was a season low, but it was a low for Tari Eason, only 18 minutes. And that was because of a fall he took in the Minnesota game. So, but he took another fall at the end of this game. So you do not want to see that for Tari Eason with his injuries last year. Amen Thompson played 40 minutes in this one and was continued to be great. 8 for 10, 19 points, 13 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Absolutely amazing defensively. 2 assists. Managed to not have any assists last night. I thought that was the only disappointing thing about Amen Thompson in last night's win. But continues to amaze me. 2 assists tonight. Steven Adams only played 7 minutes. In 7 minutes, look, everybody hates on Steve. I see everybody's hating on Steven Adams. Like, I see people saying, like, we need to go trade for another backup center because Steven Adams isn't doing enough. Like, 7 minutes, getting 4 rebounds, giving you a block, great toughness, scored 2 points. I know 2 points and 4 rebounds and a block doesn't sound amazing, but when you put up those numbers in only 7 minutes, and there's also, like, Steven Adams does other things like off-ball facilitating as well. Like, there was this, I don't know if it was in the first or second quarter. It was either the end of the first quarter or the beginning of the second quarter, but Adams sets a screen, VanVleet finds some space, wide open, mid-range jump shot. So Adams didn't have any assists tonight in this game, but he does a lot of off-ball facilitating, like with his screens, which are leading to open shots. And I'm not going to say that Adams needs to play more because I like the idea of the Rockets keeping him healthy. And when you have a guy like Şengün who's getting 35 minutes tonight, it's hard to give more minutes to Adams. I would like to see him maybe play 10, 12 minutes a night, potentially. But I thought he looked pretty good. I mean, Adams hasn't been much of a scorer in his career, but still managed to score 2 points in 7 minutes and had 4 rebounds and had a block and was doing some off-ball facilitating, like I mentioned, with the screen that led to a VanVleet jump shot. Great win for the Rockets, 122-115. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and peace out. Go Rockets.